Humans are naturally averse to change, and as I'll explain later, it's one of the best things you can do in life. Literally, just to embrace change and not be afraid of it. Let's first understand why humans are so averse to change. I mean, it all stems from the unknown. The truth is we're naturally more averse to potential losses than we are, I guess, hungry for potential gains. So it comes down to a risk tolerance equation. In the early days where survival was the only task, and a hard task, understanding the immediate environment with predictability was key to success. And we can get tied up in what's worked before, but when you uproot this to embrace change, it jeopardizes this because it's no longer as predictable. When we stray from our comfort, our efficiency, our hard set habits for initial stress and inefficiency, this is an issue from a food and survival context. But nowadays, unless you're dead broke, it's really not an issue to get food. So it's no surprise that in a changing world, we must generally quite often go against our primal tendencies, because these can kind of mislead us in the modern life. You know, our brain wants high calorie foods to survive. You know, it wants some Burger King, it wants some candy, it wants hedonistic pleasures. These are all ingrained in our brain, but it doesn't mean we should give in to them. If anything, a lot of the time we want to avoid them. And this is kind of the crux of self-improvement, right? It's regulating, it's thinking about restriction and following through with it to actually think about, okay, what's better for me in the long term? Let's not get caught up in what I want in this exact moment. Today's video is straying a little bit from the pure health content I tend to cover, but I think this is just important, if not more important than a lot of the other videos I make. So let's tackle first drawing the line between when routine is helpful and when you should actually think about breaking routine for those new experiences. And this is generally quite a tricky line to draw. Routine serves a part pretty much everywhere. With a busy life, a routine designed to reach peak efficiency is valuable to get the task done in the least amount of time. But breaking routine for change is going to revolve around your priorities. For example, for me, my two big core priorities are just work and training. It's that simple, but you've also got a lot of other priorities, right? For me, I really enjoy studying other languages. I do that every morning. It's efficient, I like it, and it's a routine. And it's like, okay, do I break routine there to try something new? Well, it's efficient, and could I really be doing much else in that little amount of time before work in the morning? Probably not. So you keep up with that. But if you take another priority of mine, maybe just working on this channel, maybe making a new video, I can kind of do that whenever, unless I'm at work or training. So if some opportunity comes up where I could do something else, it's a new experience, you just got to break routine there. It doesn't always have to be the same thing if it's something that can be done later, and if it's not always super efficient, right? So you got to evaluate which priorities are there, which priorities are going to stay still, and then the rest of your life, I believe, should be open to those new experiences, because otherwise you're just stuck in a constant cycle, and you might be improving, but are you really growing? The last note I'll say on routines is every once in a while it is worth assessing them. You know, we get very tied up in these routines because we do them over and over. It becomes comfortable, it becomes slightly more efficient, but at the end of the day, is the outcome of this routine actually something that is still beneficial to you? You might set a routine to overcome some sort of issue that you're having, or maybe just like a minor problem during your day, but if that problem just doesn't exist anymore, but we're still doing the routine, are we just wasting time? So I think just reassess everything, right? Every once in a while you'll find like, okay, I'm still doing this, but I really don't need to. I've already fixed the issue. Could it be preventative? Maybe, but there's a chance you just don't need to do it, at least not as often. So reassess, and that can free up time for new experiences and, well, new routines if you need to. I wanted to clarify that about routines because they are helpful, but at some point you do need to challenge these new experiences. And I think the number one thing for me with these new experiences and taking opportunities is that you just have no idea where it's going to lead. Now that I understand both this and the fact that psychologically we can kind of overcome this aversity to risks and new experiences, I just say yes to everything. Unless it's directly colliding with my key priorities, which circles back to that, just say yes, dude. If it's clashing with me just working on a little bit of a video in the evening, dude, just say yes, go. You have no idea where it's gonna land, okay? For example, this was towards maybe October last year. I was pretty stretched thin as far as my schedule goes, but I just blindly said yes to like coaching a couple evenings a week, just on athletics, because that's what I do outside of my work. And I wasn't doing it for money, but that led to me getting this new job, which I have now moved, and this job is going well, and I'm training at the main center in the country, and it's also led to me getting a role to go overseas to manage a national team. just from coaching kids on a Tuesday and Thursday night. Who saw that coming? It's not only the personal development that you're always going to get with these new experiences, but man, the scope of where it might lead you to be, it's outrageous. If you are enjoying, please be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. It's free, it helps me out, and who knows, it could be a good change in your life. And with a new sitting, I felt like my life has just taken a big bound forward. I'm fresh off of 3 national golds, just from, I guess, bit of training. Where I'm at now, like, you can't see this coming. You can't tell me you do. Like, taking these small experiences and opportunities, not only for that skill building, but I'll say it 10 times if I have to. You don't know where it's gonna lead you, so just say yes. I hate those weak answers like, oh, I don't know, I'll think about it. Oh, maybe, we'll see if I have time. I hate those, dude. I hate hearing them. I hate hearing myself say them. Don't say that, just say yes or say no. Ideally say yes if it doesn't clash with anything, right? I usually feel like people are lying when they say I don't have time. Most people have time. It's just not a priority, which again circles back. It's like, can I make this a priority? Maybe not, but I can throw an hour at it a week, dude. Like, come on. Just a few final notes here. I think with new experience as well, you're also just developing yourself so much, right? If you're only doing work and training, which, you know, is my big 2 priorities as well, you're not necessarily, like, you might be progressing, but are you really growing? Are you really challenging yourself, growing as a person, growing new skills? No, you're not, because the skill set is you've already learned it because you've been doing it a while. So you're not growing as much as you could be. You're not growing quickly, at least, is what I would say. As well, it really just keeps your brain sharp, learning new things, learning to adapt to new situations. Humans are so much more adaptable than we give ourselves credit for. We always fight change, as I said before, but honestly, unless your habits in this new changed environment are terrible, you're always going to reach baseline. Even if you are slightly stressed after the change, you're always going to find yourself back at baseline. So if you understand that and understand, okay, maybe I'll be feeling a little bit weird this first week doing new things, you're just going to find baseline again. So don't be stressed, just take care of yourself and you'll be fine. It's really that simple. I'm not saying quit your job and uproot your life and move to Tanzania, but reassess things, think about where you could be growing more and what opportunities might come your way. If you're on the same wavelength, I really like the film Yes Man. It's kind of like a hyperbole parody take on the whole topic, but check that out if you want. But otherwise, let me know if this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts below. I will see you in the next one.